Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Bill. This is Senior Talk and Walks. Hey, I got a question asked to me not too long ago, and they said, hey, as a 55 pluser, what kind of hobby can I pick up that I would really enjoy, that wouldn't be hard to do, and I would be able to use it? And I said, well, I'll tell you one that I like, one that I picked up not too long ago and became the life of a party, was learning how to play the guitar. And I picked 5 chords. Now I know about 10, but I picked 5 that I knew that with these 5 chords, I could play hundreds and maybe even thousands of songs. So I did it, and I'm gonna teach you the same thing. I'm gonna show you how to use a guitar, even if you've never picked one up, and I'm gonna teach you 5 chords, just 5. And once you know these chords, you're gonna be able to play literally thousands of songs. You're gonna love it. It's gonna be easy. And the first song we're going to learn, when you know these 5 chords, is one of my favorites from 1964, The Animals, called The House of the Rising Sun. Here we go. I hope you enjoy it. Hey everybody. So like I said, I'm here to show you 5 chords that will change your life as far as playing a musical instrument. And let's face it, us being the 55 plusers, we're always looking for a party, right? We're always looking to show off to somebody. Well, you know, when you play the guitar, that's what happens. You become the life of a party, you know. So I'm going to show you 5 basic chords. And believe me, these 5 chords that I'm going to teach you how to play, and we're going to learn one song on how to that uses these 5 chords. These 5 chords, just these 5 chords, you can play literally thousands of songs. Just these 5. A minor, C, D, F, and E. A minor, C, D, F, and E. We're going to learn these 5. We're not going to do, there's one minor, there's the A minor, because I'm also going to show you A, but then I'm going to show you how it just converts with one finger change to A minor. So when you play A minor, we can play the song that we're going to learn in just a minute. Spoiler alert, I'll give you a little spoiler alert right now. The song that we're going to learn when I teach you these 5 chords, you're going to learn it today. 1964 top song by the Animals. One of my favorite songs called The House of the Rising Sun. I'm going to teach you how to play that. All right, so here we go. Now, let me first start out with some mechanics on the guitar. It doesn't matter if you have never played the guitar before. Just go get you one. This is a Yamaha. There's tons of brands out there. Don't spend a lot of money. Just get something that sounds good, that you like, and that you can move your hands up and down. Guitars it's like the piano. You still have to use 2 hands. One is strumming, one is to change the notes, okay? Just some simple mechanics on the guitar. This is the neck. When you hear me talk about the neck, this is the neck, and these are the individual frets. This is 1st fret, 2nd fret, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Okay? We're only going to play, all of our chords today are within the first 3 frets. That's it. Okay? It's going to be very, very, very simple. Okay? It's going to change your life as far as playing a musical instrument. You're never too young to pick up a musical instrument. And like I say on my channel, we're always looking for things for seniors to do. Seniors that will make you feel good about things, make you feel more relative. Well, playing the guitar is one of them. So you ready? So first of all, when we start talking about the notes that you're going to play, you know, I always tell people that when you play the guitar, you can't really, and this is one of those senior tips, you got to keep your fingernails trimmed. Okay, you just have to. Not necessarily on your strumming hand if you're right-handed, if it's your left-handed, if it's reversed. But your strumming hand, it doesn't really matter. But on your fingering in on the frets, your nails need to be trimmed, or it's going to give you a really hard time. And the other thing to remember, that's very simple down here, is it's a real trick, okay? If you play, some people pick up the guitar and I'll see them, what they'll do, they'll just grab it like this, and you see their thumb hanging over the top. Well, when you do that, you're gonna, here's an F chord for instance, but if my thumb is up here, I'm deadening the strings, okay? If you put your thumb right in the middle of the neck, like this, just push it here, and then bring your arm up around this way. Okay, not like this, not in. Bring it around up here. See, your fingers are rising when you do that. Then you're coming down straight down on the frets, okay, rather than sideways. If you come down sideways on them, you're going to get this sound. If you come up straight on, you're gonna be able to hit both strings, okay? All right, here we go. So you got the mechanics, the frets, the neck. We're not going to talk about tuning right now. That's a whole nother, I'll do a whole video about that, but there's a lot of YouTube videos on how to make sure your guitar's tuned. I want to teach you these five chords, and then we're going to learn House of the Rising Sun, okay? And a couple of things. When we finish, I want to talk to you about practice. Guitar is all about practice. The more you play, the easier everything's going to get down here. The more you're going to hear things, the more you're going to be able to pick up different strumming patterns, all of that stuff, okay? And when you're watching this video, start, stop, whatever you want to do. Watch it over and over and over again if you want. So you'll get down these chords of A minor, C, D, E, and F, okay? Very, very simple. All right, so the first chord I'm going to teach you is A minor, okay? A minor, we're going to only be in the first and second frets, okay? Your forefinger here, your first finger is on the second string, first fret. Second string, first fret. Sounds like that. Your second finger is coming up top up here to the, not top, but up to the fourth string, fourth fret, okay? This is string 1, 2, 3, 4, second fret. Not the fourth fret. Fourth string, second fret. That one. And the one right below it is where your third finger goes. That's the second fret, third string. So you have that sound, that sound, that sound. We'll teach you the names of those notes, and there's a lot of other videos that want to do this, but this is a practical lesson. I just want to show you how to play. We're not going to get so down into the weeds on the name of the notes. Second string, first fret, fourth string, second fret, third string, second fret. And you're only using 3 fingers. Now when you play the chord, you can play it from the fourth string down, because remember, you're not hitting anything, but you can actually do that on A minor. It actually sounds better to hit the 5th string. Don't hit the last string, because that's out of the note pattern. But this string, the 5th string is. So now, thumb underneath the neck, hand up, push them all down, start from the 5th string and strum. There it is. That's A minor. A minor. A minor. You can already hear the sound beginning of House of the Rising Sun, right? There is. I can't sing too much of it because this is YouTube, but I can do little things like that. There is, and we'll come back and do that in a minute. A minor, okay? First 2 frets, you're only using 4 strings, okay? There's a little diagram on the screen for you to be able to check these out, okay? That's A minor. Now, I'm going to teach you A real quick while we're here because it's so simple. All you're doing is you're moving your first finger over to the 3rd string, 2nd fret. Your second finger is staying exactly where it is, and your third finger is on the 2nd string, 2nd fret. That's A. Notice the difference. A minor. Yeah, see how that A minor? It's got that little, that's why they call them minors. It's got the little drama effect there. Minor, like, uh-oh, what's going on there? You know, that's kind of suspicious. And then you go back to the A, and then everything's happy. A minor is, ooh, suspicious, sad, dramatic, okay? But then it's just one change of the finger here, okay? From A to A minor. But we're just going to worry about A minor today. But I just wanted to show you A since we're so close to it. A minor. A minor, the house. Next chord is C, okay? C is such a common chord, my gosh, especially in country music. You could play about every song out there if you know C. All these other major ones, C, D, E, and F. A minor is a specialty type chord, but all these others, over and over and over. C. If you have a piano and you play a C chord, that sound right there is going to match it to it. Real easy First string again, just like you did. You're not changing. First fret, I mean. Second string. That's your first finger, just where you were before. Same thing on your second finger. It stays the same, just like you did A minor. Second fret, fourth string. But your third finger now is on the third fret, fifth string, okay? And you're strumming from 5 strings down. See, I'm even almost deadening it out a little bit here on the top end here. That's C, 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 C. A minor, C. A minor, C. So if we were doing the song, there is a house. Got it? There is a house. We just learned 2. You're halfway there on the song already, and we've just learned 2 chords. A minor, C. Right? C. First fret, second string, first finger. Just like you're doing A minor, second finger the same way. Fourth string, second fret. And your third finger is on the fifth string, third fret. Okay, just like this. You can see it on the top. Here's A minor from the top. Here's C from the top. You also have your diagrams. Fifth string down. C. A minor, C. Okay? A minor, C. There is a house in New Orleans. Okay, so now we're going to do D. D is one of my favorite chords. And all you do, once again, we haven't passed the third fret, right? Everything is between fret 1 and 3. So on D, you're doing your first finger, third string, first finger, third string, second fret, just like this. Your second finger is on the first string, second fret, and your third finger is over here on the second string, third fret. See it? This one right here. That's my third finger, second string, third fret. It's my second finger, which is on the first string, second fret, and my first finger is on the third string, third fret. And you're only going to do from 4 strings down, because that's kind of your bass note here. That's D, which is the beginning of this. Y'all know that song, right? We'll learn that another time. We've done A minor, we've done C, D. That's D, what we just did. Okay? There it is from the top. Look at your diagram. Let's do what we've learned 3. There is a house in New Orleans. How about that? Three chords already, and we're almost through with the song. Almost. It just goes over and over and over. One of the best songs ever written. A minor, C, and D so far. Okay? Now we're going to go to F. Now, I'm going to teach you the easy version of F. You're going to hear a lot, if you watch YouTube videos about the guitar, about bar chords, where you're using your entire hand. Once again, I'm covering all 3 frets. This is F, by the way. This is a bar chord, which don't worry about right now, because with bar chords, you can go up and down the neck using the same configuration. F, G, A. That A that we played a minute ago, listen to the sound. It sounds the same. A, or the A that I just taught you. A, A, A. But we're just going to learn this one down here. But when you learn the bar chords, we'll do that later. You can go up and down the neck, okay? But I'm going to teach you the easy version of F. You're still just using the first 3 frets, okay? A little trickier this time, because your first finger is going to push down on both of the 1 and 2 strings. I'm pushing both of them down at the same time. It sounds like that. Your second finger goes on the third string, second fret, right here. Those 2 down,
third string, and your fourth finger, your third finger goes on the fourth string of the third fret, right there. Here's what it sounds like if you don't strum it. Fourth string, third string, second string, first string. Number 1 and 2 strings are together. That's F. F, F, F. Here's the bar chord. F, F. Same thing. It just gives you a little bit more bass because you're using these bass strings. But up here, you can do the same thing. And actually, you can go up and down the fret like that if you wanted to. You could do that if you wanted to. We'll learn that later. F. So where are we at? We're at A minor. We're at C. We're at D. And we're at F. So how does that sound if you do that? There is a house in New Orleans. They call, back to A minor, they call. Okay, you went to A minor again. You already know that, right? A minor, C, D, F, back to A minor. There is a house in New Orleans. And when you do they call, we're back to A minor. A minor, C, there is a house in New Orleans. They call, back to A minor again. Now we're going to go to C again. You've already learned it. They call the rising sun. There's E. There's E right there. And it's been, back to A minor, the ruin, C, of many, D, a poor boy, F, and God, A minor, I know, E, I'm one, back to A minor. How about that? 5 chords, 5 chords. A minor, C, D, F, A minor, C, E. A minor, C, D, F, A minor, E, A minor. Back to E. Now notice each time I've just been strumming it one time, right? There is a house in New Orleans. They call the rising sun. Notice one strum, one strum, one strum, one strum, one strum. Oh, I just did the bar chord. You can always do the bar chord if you want to learn that. But for right now, let's stick with this. F, your 2, number 1 and 2, your 3rd and your 4th. But let's fix it up. What happens if you fix it up a little bit like this? If you don't want to sing the song, I always recommend singing the songs. But if you don't like singing the song, House of the Rising Sun is a great song that you can play as an instrumental based on what you do with this. You can move things around like this. We don't have to get into too much of this right now. I just want you to hear what it would sound like because you can really start to do this type stuff with the strumming of the strings, okay? You could even move your fingers around, like F, A minor, C, and E. Notice I'm doing each string at a time. A minor, C, D, and F, and A minor, and E, and A minor, and E. Some people like to do each string independently, where it sounds like this. deadening some of the strings. You get the idea. And then some people just like to strum the heck out of it, which you can do. A minor, C, E. Back to A minor, C, D, F, A minor, C, E, sorry, A minor, E, there you have it. 5 chords. You've learned 5 chords. A minor, C, D, F, and E. And you can play one of the top songs ever been done by the Animals, written in 1964 with 5 notes. But the good news is, that's good news. But the really good news is those 5 chords will play thousands of other songs. Anytime, if you just hear them, and you can go online and you can see what those type chords will play. And it's just on and on and on. But once you get to used to these chords, play around them. And I want you to do this. This is your homework assignment. Practice, practice, practice. Practice just playing the chord. Start with A minor. Just A minor, A minor, A minor. Go ahead and move your fingers around to play A if you want. Remember A minor. But for House of the Rising Sun, it's A minor. Just learn to play this chord. Make sure none of the strings are deadening out. Make sure your thumb's underneath. Bring your arm up like this. A minor. You can hit every string to make sure every string is sounding. C. Make sure every string is sounding. D. F. Every string sounding. A minor. Once you get that down, practice every one of those chords, and then you just put it all together. Interesting strumming approach, but you get the idea. So there you have it. 5 chords, House of the Rising Sun. You can learn so much. I look forward to seeing you guys again. Remember, this is Senior Talk and Walks. Normally I'm out walking and talking, and that's what we do on this channel. But I also like to show you cool things that seniors can do that are really, really easy. Take the time to pick up the guitar. Piano and other things are awesome too if you happen to want to do that. But I picked up the guitar a few years ago and I love it. I could play so many different songs now because I bet I know less than 10 chords altogether. Probably more like 7 or 8. And that's all I know. But I can play thousands of songs. Most of the time, if somebody just hums me the song, or if I just hear it if they play it to me on their phone or whatever, I'm ready to go. I don't know all the lyrics, but I can certainly play the song, and you can too. There you go. You've learned how to play the guitar already, right? Isn't it fun? It's not as hard as you thought. Now, what you got to do is practice as much as you can. Practice those chords. Practice the way you hold the guitar with your hand on that neck. Make sure you're pushing those strings down right. Make sure those fingernails are clipped. Try not to deaden any of those strings, and then you can practice on your strumming. The fingering, you got to practice on that, and then you got to practice on how you're going to strum with that pick. But keep playing those 5 chords, okay? And all of a sudden, just start humming a few songs to yourself and you'll be able to pick up a lot more. And we're gonna do this again. So I wanna hear from y'all. Drop it down in the comments, maybe another song that you wanna learn, and I'll show you how to do that as well. It's a lot of fun. You're gonna be the life of a party. So until next time, this is Bill. This has been Senior Talk and Walks. I've enjoyed it. Love you guys. See you next time.